Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ministry Moments. We are Coalescence. We are a praise and worship group based in Winnipeg, Manitoba. We have been ministering since 2017, and we are a family and a group. The meaning of Coalescence literally means to bring different elements and put them together. And that is literally what we are. We come from different churches around the city of Winnipeg, and we have all come together to praise the one God that we worship. So we are here to talk a little bit about our experiences during this pandemic and how we have been attempting to stay active. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional gathering place of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji Cree, Dakota, and Dene people, and the traditional homeland of the Métis people. Every time we acknowledge this truth, we have an invitation and opportunity to reflect on what we do and what we can do to make Manitoba a better place for everyone who lives here. So we would like to acknowledge that. Okay, so we're gonna get started by introducing ourselves. So my name is Ryan. I am 22 years old and I'm currently a university student. I'm going to school in the fall for secondary education at Burman University.
Hi everyone, my name is Faith. I am 23 years old. I currently just graduated from the University of Manitoba from the Bachelor's of Environmental Design, and I will be looking for a job now. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yandira. I am 19 years old. I am currently just working right now, but I'm going to start studying music at Burman University in the fall.
My name is Jewel Ramakal and I'm 20 years old and I'm currently a full-time student at the University of Manitoba.
Hi everyone, I'm Ryan. I'm 21 years old and I currently graduated from the Bachelor of Science at the University of Manitoba. And this fall I will be starting my secondary education at University of Manitoba, taking physiotherapy.
My name is Celine. I'm currently a student at the University of Manitoba as well. I'm in the Faculty of Arts. I'm majoring in political science.
My name is Mutende. I'm 21 and I'm currently studying business at the University of Manitoba.
Okay, so starting off with our first question, obviously this pandemic has made a lot of changes for everyone in almost every aspect of our lives, whether it be being physically, mentally, or spiritually. There has been an aspect of change because of the pandemic. So what are some ways that you guys are staying sane or attempting to staying sane during this crazy time?
Yeah, like you said, Ryan, this has been a very big change for everyone, and really it's come down to try not to take things for granted. Enjoying every single connection that you have with someone, whether it's virtually or in a socially distanced manner. Also, I like to stay busy, like with church stuff, church involvement, making music videos for the church, and just really reaching out to people in different ways that we couldn't before. Maybe even meeting new people that you wouldn't have talked to before the pandemic or wouldn't have gone up to personally. And then other than that, just working on school and practicing guitar.
Yeah, I've also been trying to keep myself busy during the pandemic, especially when we were in lockdown. I definitely learned a lot about myself just because you're kind of forced to spend that alone time. I also realized how much of an extrovert I really am. That like I feed energy off of being with other people, like physically being there. So it was a lot harder for me to try and do that without being able to hang out with my friends and going and seeing them. So FaceTime really helps. Technology and social media definitely helps. Yeah, I've just been working on school. I was taking spring courses and winter courses, and yeah, I've just been working, trying to keep those connections with my friends, like I said, through technology and social media, and yeah.
Okay, so apart from trying to keep sane from this pandemic, I think specifically the pandemic has made an impact on our spiritual lives. whether it be positive or negative, in some way, God has moved differently in our lives during this new thing that we're going through. So I guess, how has the pandemic affected your personal life and your walk with God?
So in the beginning, it was a little bit hard, but I found that throughout the pandemic, I've been able to expand my ministries, I guess. Of course, I've been used to doing music with you guys, and I'm comfortable doing it in groups. And recently, I've been branching out and been speaking on my own in youth groups, or my auntie, she's a, what do you call it? The thing Mark did. Chaplain. She's a chaplain at a school in Toronto, and so she's called on me to speak to her youth as well. And so I think it's really helped me to grow in faith and just, get my head deeper into the Bible as well, because obviously if you're speaking to people, you gotta know what you're talking about. So I think it's really helped me grow spiritually.
I think we can all agree that spiritually it's been a challenge, especially I think for me personally. One of the things that really helped me in my spiritual life is community. So, being away from everybody, I think it was definitely a challenge. But again, like what Mutende said, was it allowed me to expand and become creative with, how I connect with God. And it was definitely a challenge. But I think for example, I started using my poetry as a way to connect with God. Like, a lot of my poetry lately has become, letters to God, or even like sometimes when I had a hard time praying, I used my poetry as a means of praying. So those became letters to God. And I think like that's just an example of, over time I adapted and I became creative with how I connected with God.
So the pandemic has put a halt on a lot of things in my personal life. It put a halt on school, on work. But I think in the midst of all of the things that the pandemic has stopped, God has really opened the door to a lot of new opportunities for me during this season. I really am grateful for everything that has opened up to me this past year, and don't think that they would have come to me so easily if the pandemic didn't happen. So I'm really thankful and really have seen it strengthen my relationship with Christ, really understand a little more about what his plan is for my future. So in a way, this pandemic has opened my eyes to see God's path a little more. And I think that's crazy to think, because like this pandemic has been such a negative thing for a lot of people, but internally, like, I don't know, my eyes just feel like a little more open because of it.
Thanks for watching this segment of Ministry Moments with Coalescence Worship. Tune in tomorrow to learn how we've navigated our music and ministry during this pandemic. No stress. God bless.